what is going on, SoFi investors? Jay here. I want to do a little SoFi car cruise with you guys, talk about SoFi this past week. And on face value, it doesn't really look like SoFi had a good week, right? We're down over 3%. We closed under $7 by the end of the week. So when we first look at SoFi, we're like, man, we had another crappy week. But in all actuality, I think it's the opposite. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I think SoFi actually had a really, really good week. Sometimes stock price can be frustrating, right? Because you get all this positive news and nothing really happens. The first thing I want to talk about is CEO Anthony Noto bought more shares this week. I think it was like a little over 28,000 shares he bought at $6.90. He now owns over 8 million shares. It's like almost 1% of all the outstanding shares. So that's a good thing. Anthony Noto is continuing to buy shares. And then another thing I want to talk about, which is right in line with this, is for the first time in over 2 years, SoFi crossed over 40% institutional ownership. I think that's a huge deal. Right now, retail owns like 53% of all the outstanding shares, which is not great when retail owns more shares than institutions, right? We want that number to flip. And I think over the next, year and a half, 2 years, I'm projecting by the end of 2025, we'll see more institutional investors own shares than retail. I think we're going to cross over that 50% mark, maybe even sooner than that, but I think realistically, by the end of 2025, we'll see that flip. And once that flips, we're going to start to see a stabilization in the stock price, probably in that $9 to $10 range. So that happened. Anthony Noto bought more shares, and the most important thing that flew way under the radar is SoFi's partnership with Zelle. I think that's a huge deal. There's been so many bears being like, they don't have Zelle. So many people on Twitter like, I would do SoFi, I would sign up for the app and use them as my bank, but they don't have Zelle. Well, now they do have Zelle. So that's really, really great for the investor base of SoFi, right? They're just adding all these different products all the time. They're just making this suite of offerings better and better all the time. And as an investor, that's what you want to see, is like the company is constantly being improved on. They're not staying stagnant like Bank of America or Wells Fargo. When was the last time you heard any of the big banks doing anything cool or innovative? It's been a really, really long time. Their growth stories are boring. I don't want to be a part of those stories because they're not interesting enough for me as an investor, right? Like, what are you doing to improve your company? I think Anthony Noto and his team are constantly trying to evolve and trying to better themselves as a company, right? So I just wanted to give you a little update. That's my 3 reasons why I think SoFi actually had a better week than you might have initially thought, because the stock price being down 3% and under $7 a share. Look at this as a buying opportunity, everyone, right? I don't think we're going to see SoFi in the $6, $7 range for much longer. And once it's gone, you don't want to be a person that's chasing a stock price, right? I think anything under $10 long term is still going to be a good buy. In the meantime, I think the price could stay in this $6 to $9 range for the rest of the year. So my price target for this year, I'm lowering it a little bit to $10. But I think as time goes on, we're going to become more and more profitable. More institutions are going to start buying in, and we're going to slowly see that stock price get a lower and lower floor. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. Peace.